Welcome to a new season of How to Hunt. We've got a great new format for you. We've got a video podcast. Zach and I break down all the details of hunts, and we've got the best video you'll ever see. We've got some of the best genetics in the world. We've got big, fat, huge bears if you like big, tall ones and big, fat ones, and we've got big skulls. The bear that we're dealing with right now is a toad. I'm trying to shoot a bear. I haven't shot a bear for 5 years.
Argo How to Hunt is brought to you by Argo XTV. Go anywhere. And these fine sponsors.
Welcome to How to Hunt. We have a brand new show for you. It's a podcast video show with myself, Ryan Kohler, and Zach Brown. This episode is going to be all about bears. We have 2 episodes for you. They're going to be amazing. We have some amazing bears, some cool stuff, but we're going to try to get a little more detail, a little more entertainment with the podcast, and teach a little bit along with the show. So here we go. Zach, number 1, episode 1.
I think it's so important because you watch hunting shows and you're left with like that. They didn't explain that, right? They didn't tell or like what's more behind the scenes. And this allows to really engage. And there's so many different talking points that you mean in a short TV episode, you just kind of braze over, right? But to be able to like dive into some of those points that new hunters or even like veteran hunters are like, I want to see more of that. Sure. And we can do that here, which is really cool.
That's, I think, the idea behind the show is to be able to go into to educate for sure for people that don't know. And then to really go into like some super details. And being someone that's been with a lot of outfitters in a lot of different provinces in Canada and hunting bears and whitetails and basically specific on some of these animals, elk, bears, whitetails, mule deer, the animals we have in Western Canada, there's a lot of things you learn from outfitters. And outfitters, they spend way more time than just a weekend warrior. And a weekend or a hunter that hunts just weekends might take an entire lifetime to hunt as much as an outfitter would hunt in, say, like 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of knowledge there that we can bring, and I think people will really enjoy the different format. And we still have the same great video, right, that we had in the shows before. All those best parts, we're going to show those pieces, but we're going to break them down, and we're going to explain how we did them, and then we're going to tell you some of the stuff that we would never tell anyone.
Yeah, or stuff that maybe we couldn't put on. Well, this is going TV, but maybe the hidden stuff.
Yeah, hidden stuff that's either wacky or really funny, or maybe just a secret that like
stuff you couldn't, or just the time you couldn't explain it in a short TV episode, and here we're able to dive into,
or really detailed on things on how we actually got that huge bear, like what was the thing and what made the difference, and why did the bear show up, and all kinds of details. So we're gonna have great shows this season. We're gonna go through all the species of how to hunt that we hunt, and we hope you enjoy this episode. This is our first crack at doing it, and coming up right away here is some awesome bear action. Okay, 2024 bear camp, let's do this. We're packing up all the tubs right now. I use tubs, stack them on top of each other, all the food's in one, all the clothing in another one, all the gear in another one, and then we're gonna be ready to go. Well, we're gonna go get some meat. We got 1 red barrel left, and we're gonna unload that barrel into buckets because we don't have enough room for a barrel. So we're gonna have 20 buckets of meat here in a minute, somewhere on this truck. Not sure where we're gonna put it all, but we're gonna try. This is the fun job. Well, we've got a barrel here that we literally can't take to camp because we're just so full with everything that we need to transport it into buckets. And so that's the job of the day. We should be there in about 40 minutes. So getting excited, they gotta roll the quads out, get all the gear ready for about a 2-hour ride on the machines to get back to the bait site, and then sit and see what happens. It's gonna be really interesting. Okay, let's go. We gotta get everything ready and go right now. The first night is always nuts because you gotta get everything packed and ready in like 2 seconds. So I open the Onyx app, and then I can look in the area, the zone that we hunt bears in, and I can see small little lines that haven't been touched before. They don't look like they've ever been driven on for many, many years. So those are the lines that we like to go slashing on. We'll bring a slashing crew in, we'll slash that whole line as far as we can, 20K if we can get down that far, and then put new bait sites along that line. So without the Onyx app, it's hard to find the detail. They've got really good mapping, really good 3D mapping. If you can get the detail, you can see some of those old trails, and then get down them, slash them, put bait sites on them, and then it's totally awesome. So Master Guide Kevin cut this whole line in here. It's a big, long line. Cleaned up all the sticks, so you get a nice ride coming in. It's a really perfect setup. Beaver ponds everywhere. It's a beautiful place in northern Alberta where the genetics for giant bears exist, and the bear that we're dealing with right now is a toad. I haven't shot a bear in about 4 or 5 years, so I think this year I'm going to shoot bear on video. Last year there was a bear here that he was big back there. He never came in. He would never come in. So we fed him for like 3 weeks and no one's been here. And then we came in here and we did a speed set tonight. Threw this stand up real quick. We got a climber up. And we're just gonna sit quiet for the last couple hours here and see if he comes in. I think it would be basically like surprising him that we're here. So see what happens. It's a huge black bear, just a monster.
Stream all your favorite episodes of How to Hunt at wildtvplus.ca.
Okay, so we got an awesome bear camp set up, but I think it's really important to talk about like the setup of a bear camp and how do you do it and what do you get and what do you need and where do you bring it and when do you drop it off, and there's so many different ways to do that. Like becoming an outfitter now, I'm learning like some smarter ways, but at the same time, because we had a TV show and we always had to be in bear camp, I felt like I was pretty close to an outfitter, but not quite. But at this, and then also you throw in like, what if you just want to go for a weekend and set up for a bear bait? Like, what's the best way?
I mean, I think conditions are a huge part of it because you think of, oh, it's dirt right now, but it's going to be mud later.
Yeah, or snow.
Yeah.
Right? Getting in early and putting it in the snow, which is super friggin' smart to get
Yes.
your baits. Get your baits in super early on a skidoo in the snow in the areas where you want to put baits down. And this year we were thinking of just putting a full barrel onto each bait, and then just opening it and leaving it.
Yeah. Or at least having that bait stash closer to your bait sites to make it that much easier than having to haul stuff. Because on a snowmobile, it's much easier than on a quad.
The benefit now is with cell cameras. Like we've got the Moultrie cell cameras. So if I bring a barrel and I drop it off, put the cell camera up, open it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. No, it's that much easier. I know one time we put our baits too close to camp. I think you experienced this too that one year.
That was the funnest thing though.
So then it ends up being, you could sit at camp.
Let's be real. Let's tell everyone what we actually did there. Like we actually did it on purpose. Like we
Did
went,
we? Was it
yeah, it
intentional?
was during COVID and we had no clients and we went there on purpose because we wanted to have fun. And we thought, let's just put the barrels like close to camp so we can see the bears running around our tent, which sounds insane. And do not try that.
Yeah.
Because we were all experts. And
I remember yelling at a bear. I think I might have a video clip where I was telling the bear it was a social distancing kind of time, and this bear was not listening. And I think I yelled at my camp, like, dude, we got a social distance, and you're way too close.
Yeah, or the bear was on your tent.
Yeah, the claw marks. Yeah.
That was.
But you learn, right? Like this is the whole part of it, right? Your first year, or it's fun, but like in reality, if you have clients, you ideally don't want to do that.
Can't do that
because the reactions to that.
The only time you can do that is if we have COVID.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's never happening again.
Yes,
so we're probably never doing that again.
Yeah.
But that was pretty amazing. Yeah.
But the wall tents, I think, are a huge part because it's comfortable. And if you do get that snow, they're all fitted with a wood stove. Throw a tarp over top. You don't have to worry about rain, anything.
Wood floor if you want to be amazing. Build the wood floor for the wall tents that you can fold up, stash in the bush.
Yep.
If you got a place you can do that.
Yep.
Or bring it back and forth. So there's lots of little things I think you can do in a camp to make it like a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Like nowadays you can get the Starlink in there, right?
Yeah. Watch the hockey game. Yeah, no, I think if people, when they think of wall tents, I think they envision maybe really rustic, and it's like you can have a mobile shower, you can have your cook tent, and it's home. I
It's
don't
like
know.
getting close to ice fishing tents too.
Yeah,
Like
it
ice
is.
fishing tents now
Yeah.
are getting crazy
I know.
because you go in them and you're like, what?
I know.
Like you're
This bear
sleeping in
camp?
here tonight? This is nice. Like, and bear camp is also like getting like better and better solar power, like
Yeah.
all that stuff that's coming along. No more, you don't have to listen to generators anymore. When you get snuggled into your bed at night inside the trailer, and I use these trailers to sleep in, we, you know, the last thing you want to do is get up and go outside and turn off the Jenny. So I started hunting for a solution. We're burning a lot of fuel trying to power a fridge and a stove and a giant freezer full of beavers, full of meat, everything that we have. Now all we have is a nice quiet camp with only a few cords to power some things and the solar panels on top of the roof getting the power of the sun.
You guys are miles and miles away from a power source or a fuel source. We can give you a source of power in the middle of the woods with no noise.
And then the bait sites themselves, that's a big trick too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could talk a lot about that. I mean, whether it's your type of bait, how crib is set up, your trail cameras, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you learn a lot over the years and you realize, hey, I didn't have that crib and that bear came in and it went to a totally different direction and it moved my barrel that wasn't attached to a tree and now I use wire.
Right. I remember one time we were in the bush and we took the Leatherman out and we like actually marked the tree. So if you have the barrel height and and you mark the trees with your Leatherman has that little like saw, you know what I mean, on it? And then you just like get that measurement of the top of the barrel, go around, mark 2 or 3 trees like that.
For the height.
For the height of the bear, because then it's always there, right? It's always there. The barrel can be knocked over or the beaver cage can get ripped off or whatever, and it's just always there. So.
And I think it's an extra step because some people I've seen have a stake, which is a measurement, but what if that stake gets knocked down?
Yeah.
If it's on a tree, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And that really allows it. And I think at the end of the day, I mean, we're here, we're talking about bear hunting, and you always ideally want to shoot that mature bear. And there's a lot of different indicators. You want to have ideally the best shot and all the little things planned ahead of time. And we're going to talk about that next, is how to shoot a mature bear and then even how to measure it. There's different ways of measuring the high and measuring the skull. And we're going to talk about that next.
Hey, Finn Morrison. I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm here with Ryan Kohler tonight at Indian Hunt. We're in the bear stand right now. We've got it built into the trees. It's comfy, it's big, with the bear crib, and we're waiting for a big bear to come in. While we've been up here, we've had food and drinks back at camp. The wall tents are great. We've got a shower in camp, a place to go to the bathroom. Driving around here's been awesome, all the quads and seeing all the country.
Absolutely. Just wait. Pretty awesome. Nice big bear. Let's go. Okay, at the base of the tree, here we go. Walking up to your boar for the first time. Oh yeah, that's a nice boar. Big time.
We're out in Peace River country, and I'm here with Ryan Kohler's Hunting Adventures. I'm with Ryan Kohler himself tonight, and we just shot this awesome black bear. Waited for a few days, but he came in finally, and we got him.
That skull's going to be huge.
Yeah.
One of the best parts about this area is they have the biggest genetics in Alberta, some of the biggest genetic sized skulls in Alberta. So for Pope and Young and Gwynn and Crockett, like, this thing is a toad.
We've got some of the best genetics in the world in this area along the Peace River. We've got big, fat, huge bears if you like big, tall ones and big, fat ones, and we've got big skulls. Well, here I go again, trying to find a way to make beaver cages without spending a ton of money. So we went to Value Village. This was $1. I actually haven't bought anything for $1 for, I don't even know how long. But I'm gonna put the chain through the middle here, the beaver inside, and I'm gonna just literally close this off so you can take, you know, put beaver in and out. Get that in there. Jam it in there. That is Reno. Kind of want to tighten it all the way because you want them to kind of play with that and pick at it and open it and be able to get at it. And so, but that little beaver contraption, we'll see how good it works. We got to refill that. So you got to go. Don't go up the tree. No, no, no. Go for a walk. No. I said no. I've seen 2 bears already. Not shooters, but nice bears. I'm trying to shoot a bear. I haven't shot a bear for 5 years. I've got all the clients on the top baits right now, so we're kind of like picking around on some of the baits on the outskirts to see if we can find something cool. It's hard to really know what's going on all the time out here in the bear woods because you never know what's going to happen. Skulls,
Yeah.
cleaning skulls, measuring skulls,
Yeah.
transporting skulls,
Yeah.
storing skulls,
Yeah.
hide everything. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot there. That's a huge topic.
I know. And it's interesting when it comes to skinning a bear, like there's always a discrepancy of how you measure them. I mean, I think you could talk to a handful of outfitters and they're going to tell you different things. A big bear is a big bear. And it's always interesting with a hunter anybody who's hunted at a bear bait, when they see a big bear come in, it's like, oh,
Different.
that's the one,
Totally different.
right? It's just a different look, a different
Tol-
slouch.
Yeah, 100%. It's a different pace, different walk, different look, different everything.
Yeah.
And it's obvious.
Yeah.
And then when you see one for the first time like that, you're like, everything else I've seen
No.
is not this animal.
Yeah.
This is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think people, like, there's so many different ways to look at it. And what I always say is it as tall as a barrel, which is a good indicator for how high it is. And then will it fit in the barrel? Because you can get those young, I still call them 18-inch skull bears that are tall, but not super big.
You can stuff them in the barrel.
Yeah, except in the barrel. But when you get that one where it's as big as the barrel and it's not fitting in there, then it's like, that's a mature bear. And the skull can be deceiving because you see it. Not all of them have that beautiful
The
crease.
skulls are the toughest.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's be real. Like, it's inside the bear's head with fur.
Yes.
It's living and breathing. And you can tell me that's like a 21 or what people like to say.
Yeah.
It's a total joke. A big skull on a bear is the ears are small. You have probably a crease, but it's wide.
Yeah.
But usually you can't tell the length unless you sit there for a long time and you're really super picky.
Yeah.
Because you can see a long nose because there's some stubby ones and then there's longer nose
Yeah.
bears. But I mean, the only way I know to really know is to shoot them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if you can figure out the size, we understand that as far as the weight of the body. And then from there, you're shooting mature bear and it should be at least over 19.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a few surprises where like, yeah, you're going to be still over Pope and Young, which is 18 inches.
Yeah.
But I think that's the only thing you can control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then measuring the skull, I mean, calipers,
Yeah.
square,
Yeah.
you got to have the right tools.
Yeah, the right tools. The interesting thing is if you get that tooth, and I didn't know this, I'm pretty sure, maybe someone could fact check me on this, but if you have a tooth that's further out,
Really?
you can go off. No, I'm pretty sure you go off of the furthest part of the tooth.
No
so that
way.
might get you that quarter inch.
I didn't
that
know
half
that.
inch. I'm pretty
That's
sure. Yes.
great.
So any indent. So that's what I've always been told. I don't think it's the bone of the chin. I'm pretty sure the teeth.
But you got to make sure you take a knife and you scrape off
Yes,
the meat.
yes,
Right? The
because that
side
could
of the
be-
head here, you got to scrape it off. You got to scrape off all the meat on the front.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I think, probably green score bears, totally wrong.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot of guys saying they have 20-inch skulls.
Yeah.
I'm afraid
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
I mean, I've guided a lot of years, and I've unfortunately been part of one true
One.
20-inch
Yeah,
skull.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen one too.
Yeah.
And I know there's outfitters out there that have been guiding for 30, 40 years
Yep.
that have seen multiple, and that makes sense,
Yep.
right? But I just think it's really hard to kill a 21-inch bear.
Yep.
And I held a 22-inch skull, I think 2 years ago at an outfitter's place, and it was just unbelievable.
Another level.
Yeah, it was another level. Anyways, we'll be ending the show now. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode, but we have part 2 coming up, so stay tuned. We've got a quick little video of some of the great clips coming up. That's a super giant bear. I think it's the biggest bear I've ever shot. It's got to be. But he's really big and kind of freaking scary, and it's really dark in there. And
Argo How to Hunt is brought to you by Argo XTV. Go anywhere. And these fine sponsors.